What is going on, everyone? Thanks for stopping by to watch another video here at Investing with alliseeisW. Well, today I wanted to share with you three biotech stocks that I believe have the potential to significantly run up. I'll share with you updates on why these stocks have so much value in terms of share price growth, what it means for the market sentiment, and why I believe these stocks have the potential to add positive proceeds when it comes to investing. And just to give you some updates, while we see the markets just going through uncertainty right now, we're wondering whether we're at the bottom peak of the market. Are we at a downturn where we're beginning to see an upward trajectory? That's all unknown. We really can't time the market, right? However, we can look to see what type of companies have value, and that's why we can take a position. Let's get started. Now, the first stock I wanted to talk about is Interscope Hearing Technologies, ticker INND. I've been making videos on INND for over a year now, and while we have seen the share price drop quite significantly from its prior run up, in fact, it ran all the way up to about 7-8 cents at one point about a year and a half ago, and it's just been on a downward trend, right? I mean, looking at the 1 year range, it at one point peaked up to the 2 cent range back in late 2021, and it's just been bleeding out this whole time into the 003 zone, right? And it was up until the last month and a half or so where we've seen it gone up by over 200% in positive proceeds already, and that's with INND. There's just been so much bleeding out with INND. However, with all of the news that's coming out from this company, we see now that it's OTC compliant. We're beginning to see its financial data. We're seeing that they're able to sell their products based on several acquisitions they made with hearing assists. They're making moves, and as you can see here, just with Twitter, I mean, they're just executing right now. And the CEO Matthew Moore, he's making things happen right now. He's making shit go down. In fact, he's worked with Cardinal Health. He's improving the branding. He's getting the name out there, where now you're beginning to see kiosks implemented all around the United States. And we're looking at here in Arizona where there's the products in Walmart at this time, and that's huge, right? This is one of the acquisitions that took place with INND recently with Hearing Assist, America's #1 affordable hearing brand. And what I like so much about INND is the fact that they're marketing itself like in Times Square, New York. I mean, that's at the precipice, letting the branding be known all around the United States, in fact, around the world, right, with folks visiting New York. And from a share price standpoint, I firmly believe that INND has the potential to run up, right? Will it get to 3 cents? Will it get to 4 cents? It ran all the way up to like 7-8 cents. So there's potential here, and it's looking great in terms of the buybacks. Last Friday, in fact, the share price dropped all the way down to about 24%, and that's when folks started buying in. There's buy entries at this point, so the buyers are pushing the price up right now. So there's confidence growing with INND, and that's why there's lots of folks holding on to this company as an investment because of what they're doing, and there's potential for growth with its finances. And for those reasons, INND has the potential to continue to grow in 2022 and 2023 year to come. And with its volume, it just continues to grow, right? I mean, average volume is 30 million. Its volume went 3 times that amount. So just be on the lookout for INND next week. It's going to look very interesting when we look to see how it's going to perform in the overall market. But just from a 5-day standpoint, 1 month standpoint, it's been going in the right direction, and what goes down will eventually go back up with this company. Next company I wanted to talk about is Nascent Biotech, this ticker goes by NBIO. It's in the OTC market. It's at a 33 million market cap. This company is based out in Florida, where they're developing monoclonal antibodies intended for cancer treatment in the brain. In fact, they have products being studied in clinical trials for cervical cancer, and they also have other products in the pipeline intended for diabetes as a potential and various diseases. And what's amazing about this company is the market sentiment. There's just so much people on Twitter talking about NBIO at this time. Because why? I mean, if you look at its 52-week range here, it was at 4 cents at one point, right? In Q1 of 2022, and it just catapulted all the way up to close to about now 30 cents. That's just huge runs for a company like NBIO. We know that biotech has been bleeding out. However, there's been a negative correlation with this company where it's been improving while most biotech companies have been taking a hit for the year and a half or so. Now, going back on a 5-year range, I mean, its breakout at one point when it was at the low point of like less than 20 cents back in 2018, it got up to 47 cents, and it's just been bleeding out since, right? I mean, looking at 2020, it's down in the sub 10s here at 8 cents, 5 cents, and it hasn't made any noise up until 2022. So we're beginning to see market changes with this company here. There's more buyers and sellers, and that's why NBIO, the question is how far up can it go? Can it reach up to its prior resistance back in 2018 at 47 cents? I would monitor this closely, right? And just look to see what type of news this company is releasing. In fact, 4 days ago, they got the allowance from the USPTO branding for the United States for additional patents on its monoclonal MAD assays. So that's huge. Now, looking at their company specifically here, I mean, this is great news because you see that they have institutional review board approval back in 2019. They have a cleared investigational new drug IND submission in 2018, and they actually got granted orphan drug designation from the Food and Drug Administration. So this is huge, and they've presented their new clinical plan to the FDA in pre-IND meetings, and they've developed a current good manufacturing compliant facility for the production of material going through human clinical trials. So they're executing based on just the information we're seeing, and of course with biotech going through clinical trials, it may take years. However, there's market sentiment, the fact that there's innovative therapeutic drug products in the monoclonal antibody space. That's huge because we know that's where biotech really is going to take off in the many years to come. And their drug product, it's been validated in about 249 human brain cancer patients. So that just demonstrates that they're on the right path here, and they can make a big impact with the drug products that they're researching at this time. So be on the lookout to see how far up NBIO can go. I mean, right now there's just lots of folks talking about this company, and the question is how far can it ramp up, right? We've seen companies in 2020, it shot up from like single digits all the way up to like the dollar range, right? So I wouldn't rule out the possibility with NBIO. Next company I wanted to talk about is Skye Bioscience. Why do I believe in Skye? Well, we know that in the ocular space, specific to glaucoma, there's not really much treatment out there, right? And we know that over the many years to come, the glaucoma sector will continue to expand when it comes to drug market research, development, and spending for patients impacted with glaucoma. Glaucoma is one of the leading cause for irreversible blindness, so patients really depend on effective drugs that can help reduce their symptoms, whether it's high blood pressure in the eye, that can cause damage to the nerves in the back of the eye, and that's why they depend on drugs that are commercially available, produced by big time companies such as Bosch and Lomb, Pfizer. In fact, these type of drugs currently, it's really like putting a band-aid on the problem but not really solving the root cause of it. And that's why patients have to use the drug products quite frequently with eye drops to reduce the intraocular pressure. However, we need new drugs in the market, right? And with Skye, it can potentially provide a paradigm shift leveraging synthetic cannabinoids by using nano emotion technology. Skye has a drug product called SBI 100 using THC with the addition of valine hemisuccinate to significantly reduce intraocular pressure, as well as potentially providing neuroprotection in the eye, right, which can prevent the buildup of glaucoma. And with Skye, recent news is that they will be starting first human clinical trials in Australia, dosing about 50 patients, healthy patients in Australia. And there's tax implications, there's credits, that's why they're doing it in Australia. And that's going to be huge because they were approved by the Australia health authorities to go ahead and start. There's been some minimum delays. They have a clinical research organization they're working with the clinical investigator, where there was a recent a cyber attack, and that put a delay for several weeks. However, they will begin dosing in September, and that's looking very solid. And just with news that was released, Skye Bioscience, they've actually selected a contract manufacturer, Next Pharma, to develop its drug product intended for phase 2 clinical trials here in the United States. And Skye has already had pre-IND meetings with FDA, and they will be submitting their IND this year so that it'll go in parallel and eventually get the green light from FDA to go ahead and get started. Where we are today with the share price, I definitely think it's undervalued, right? Looking at the 52-week range here, around the low 2-3 cents. Its 52-week range is at 18 cents. I definitely think what goes down will eventually go back up, and right now is definitely a great buying opportunity to buy low and continue to accumulate shares. Let's say if you bought in higher last year, that's fine. Bring your dollar cost average down, invest, continue to do so, because we know that eventually the share price you won't be able to get at this price at this time. So overall, I hope this video added value with 3 stocks that I shared with you. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate you hitting the like and subscribing for more related content. Thank you all supporters, I really appreciate you. You all have a great day. Goodbye.